give you when you're going out, right? I'm going to give you one of these so that you'll be able to source the resource. Okay, look at this. Listen to this. When one is humble, he recognizes that he's accountable to one above him. Hold on. The one above him is God, not the woman. The one above her is God. Hold on, you have to go back to the Bible. Because when God made Eve, he made her out of what? A rib. He put the man to sleep. You could get the best thing out of a man if you put him to sleep. He put him to sleep, took a rib, and he built a woman. That's why a woman doesn't look like a man. Because God intricately built a woman. So he said, this is my flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. But the fact is, the rib or the material taken to build a woman was not taken from the head. So that the woman wouldn't dominate him. It wasn't taken from the feet so that the man wouldn't stamp on her and treat her like a slave. It was taken from the side so that they could walk how? Side by side. Side by side. That's why I don't believe the saying, right? If you want to keep saying it, fine. But I don't believe the saying that behind every good man is some good woman. I don't believe that. I believe that beside every good man is a good woman. Beside. So that's humility. Gentleness is evidence in compassion and thoughtfulness in responses. In fact, gentleness replaces manipulation, harsh tone, and sarcasm. Patience prevails in tests and trials. If you are going to have any relationship that works, you have to have patience. And patience comes from the Holy Spirit. Because you weren't born with it. We weren't born with any patience. Hold on. You know, when I was growing up, right, if you have, like they give, you have fish, you have rice, you have vegetables. Okay. So, the first thing that we used to do, you eat the vegetables. Then you go to the rice. And then finally, you deal with that fish. In this day and age, they start with the fish. This is the kind of thinking going on, right? Instant gratification. No patience. It's called instant gratification. Be patient. Patience prevails in tests and trials. Marriage could be a sanctifying process. Thus, patience provides capacity to listen, to respond in productive ways. Forbearance. Look at forbearance in love. Forbearance in love helps both spouses to put up with one another. Forbearance in love. So, look at the final statement here. I just bumped into this week when I was reading, right? Just bump into this. I didn't know I didn't know about this part of it, but I bumped into it. You ever heard about Socrates? Anybody ever heard that? That's some name of philosopher, right? So Socrates thought that philosophy was a helpful tool to deal with relationships, especially with his wife. So Socrates was a philosopher, and he thought that philosophy was a good tool to use to deal with relationships, especially his wife. So these words were falsely attributed to Socrates. These words, they were falsely attributed to him. This is what he says. By all means, marry. So by all means, marry. If you marry a good wife, you will be happy. If you marry a bad wife, you will be a philosopher. And that is good for every man, he said. Think about it. It is recorded that his wife was not easy to get along with. According to the playwright Xenophon, Socrates claimed that if he could put up with his wife, he would have no other difficulty putting up with other people. That's what he said of him. Listen up. For the believer, it's more than philosophy. It's got to be the Holy Spirit. Are you hearing me? For the believer, it has to be the Holy Spirit. So anyone who finds a person who is thoughtful, you have obtained favor of God. Anyone. And let's put it this way. It's not just marriage now. If you have good people around you that are thoughtful, you have obtained favor of the Lord. Because many times there are people who come around you to drain you. When they leave, you have nothing left. And hold on, as we're studying the quarterly this week, there's some people come in, they take everything you have, they steal your feelings, they walk away, betray you, and when they see you, they act like they don't know you. Hello. That's not what it's supposed to be. We must forbear, we must put up with one another in love. In love. And when you are in love, and I'm not talking about the feeling of love. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the principle of love that God planted in your heart, that the Holy Spirit planted in your heart, so that even when folks seem unlovable, and they do unlovable things,